Welcome back to StrengthenX.
Hello.
Once again, I'm Luke and this is Johnny.
Hi.
Jump straight in. Today we're looking at how best to lift, specifically more about volume versus intensity. So rep quality versus just smash as many reps as you can under no tension, no weight.
As I always say to Luke, just do better and lift heavier.
Lift better.
Just lift more.
Classic PT terminology. Just lift, be stronger.
But in essence, that is actually partially true.
Yes.
So when it comes to volume intensity just versus volume, a lot of people get mixed up with thinking just because they've sweated a lot and because their muscles are sore, that is a sign of a good session and it's going to grow your muscle, which is actually incorrect. It can get some stimulus on the muscle and you can get some good tone. Maybe you'll get a small increase from lifting very high volume, low weight reps. But all in all, you need to put that weight up.
Yes.
And we're going to show many instances right now why or how the difference between just doing volume to doing volume with intensity. So if you're doing a session that is lasting 2 hours, which happens more often than we like to admit, then
not with us, with other people.
Yes. Then perhaps you need to look at the intensity of your training and even reduce it. You can do the same amount of workout within a much smaller space of time and fatiguing your muscles a lot faster. Yeah. Probably the perfect range is between 45 minutes to an hour. But of course you can get your cardiovascular training in as well. You can do high intensity, but you've got to remember that is for cardiovascular training.
Yes.
So we're going to go into the first exercise and show you the difference between intensity and just pure volume.
Yeah. So first video we're going to look at here is the chest press. We're going to go over a few different types of training. The first one's going to be supersetting. Supersets. So with the bench press, what I'm doing is basic 8 reps.
Yeah.
Not going to failure, just doing 8 reps for 8 reps sake, then jumping straight onto the floor and doing press-ups. As you can see, the press-ups are really, really easy. Just bang them out, 8 reps, 8 reps sake.
Smashing it out. And this is what a lot of people do because they get given a routine or a program. They tend to go to a particular rep range, but not actually fatiguing the muscle out. So we're going to show you the better example now of Luke doing the bench press again, but this time, just before we play the video and show you guys, just to let you know, if you're doing anything like a bench squat or anything like that, please get a spot if you're going to or near to failure. Just in case you can't get that rep up, you need that assistance there.
Yes,
so definitely. Always safety first and always good form over just pure intensity.
That's it. So with the second example, slightly heavier weight, and I'm going to push to almost failure. I haven't got a spotter, so almost failure. So when I generally believe I can't get that last rep out, that's when I'm going to physically stop. So the whole point here is rather than doing 8 reps, if it says 8 reps on the program, 8 reps should be getting to 6 and thinking, oh my god, I've got to get another 2 reps out here, and having to dig deep in every single set, so every single rep counts.
Yes. That's
the idea. So if you do 8 reps nice and easy, and then do another 8 reps on your second exercise nice and easy, then you've not really challenged that muscle anyway. So you've watched the press-ups on the second part now. I'm literally struggling with each rep.
Yep.
Another point to put through is that don't save that tank for the second exercise. So you're going to push yourself to failure on the first exercise and then get whatever's left out on the second. Don't think, well, I've got 2 exercises in the superset, so I'll do half effort on the first, and then, so I've got full effort on the second exercise, literally 2 failure on every single.
Yeah, and always make sure that the second exercise is an easier exercise to do. You don't want to go easy and then go to a hard one, especially a compound one like a bench press.
Yes.
Make sure that the first exercise is the much harder exercise to do. And yet again, under good form, do not compensate just because you're trying to get the last rep or 2 out. So if you're looking at it from a percentage scale, you probably want around about 90%. So not 100% max, 6 to 12 rep range. This is your 90%. And we'll go into the next variation. So this one is just purely volume over weight. So a lot of people, especially when they go into the isolation muscles, the smaller muscles, This particular one is going to be a shoulder exercise. So we're going to do lateral shoulder raises. As you can see here, I've got a lighter weight. So just in this one, it's 6 kilos. I'm doing these quite quick. I'm going for the burn, as they call it, which a lot of people think is stimulating and building muscle, when in actuality, it's just slowly burning the muscle out. It's more of a cardiovascular type of thing rather than actually hitting your big muscles. So although this one, you might feel more, and you're like, yes, I feel I'm going intense, I feel like my muscles are really hurting, it's not actually stimulating the muscle enough to grow because it's not enough weight. So if we just kind of move on to the next one, as you can see here, I've doubled the weight now, so it's 12 reps. And I'm still going for, like I say, 12 reps. It's 12 kilos, so it's twice the weight. And I'm still going for 12 reps, but now I'm going to true 12 reps. Whereas before I could go to about 30 reps.
Yeah. So we're digging deep. So it gets to 8, 9, 10 reps. And then we're looking to really dig deep to get those last few reps out. So that, again, that point of failure. So you're pushing those muscle fibers to their breaking point, effectively.
Yeah. And again, this is an isolation exercise, so keep it under good form. Do not start swinging using other muscles, and you'll get the appropriate response that you need on your muscles in order for it to grow.
Yeah. Quick side note, guys, this is part 2 of our muscle building series, so make sure you check out the previous video. Briefly touches on the nutrition aspects of building muscle, about calorie surplus. And if you're looking to drop a bit of body fat, the video before that was on calorie deficit and also building a full rounded healthy diet.
Yes, if you have been struggling with your weight for years, that's a perfect video. If you've been struggling to gain weight for years, and that's in terms of muscle, of course, the last video. Mm-hmm. And right now we're going to talk and carry on with our intensity training.
Cool. So next exercise is going to be drop sets. So this drop set, the key principle of drop set is you're pushing that muscle to failure and then lowering that weight down and continuing the same exercise, again, to point failure. The first example here is I'm just doing 8 reps for, again, 8 reps sake. I'm not going to failure at all. Dropping the weight down and then doing another 8 reps, again, not going to point failure. So no real tension or muscle contraction at all. Yeah. Right, so the second example is exact same exercise, exact same rep range. However, I've increased the weight, so that is literally my 8 rep max. So each rep I'm squeezing, getting that muscles contracting and controlling that weight back down. So it's a good quality set. So the whole set is to the point of failure. Then you drop that weight a little bit lower, and then again goes to the point of failure. In this instance, it is 8 reps. However, even if it is 4, 6 reps, it doesn't matter as long as you're pushing that muscle to its breaking point.
And just a tiny bit added on intensity. So try and take as very little breaks between the sets as possible, because of course you need that muscle to stay continuously fatigued to the point where, like what Luke was doing there, struggling to get to the end. That was only a double drop set. If you're doing a treble drop set, it's exactly the same thing. Yeah, I mean, just if it looks like you're just smashing through the reps, you might be getting a little bit of stimulus. It will help, and there will be some point where it will make you feel like you are doing something. You'll still feel it. But if you just slow down that rep a little bit and actually get more core contraction on there, we don't care if that drop set, you start off with 8 reps, you end up going to 6 reps, 4 reps, because you're still continuously hitting that volume. So you've got to think, you ain't got to go 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. When you're doing a drop set, that's the whole point. You're still getting volume in because you're still overall doing, 12, maybe 20 reps. Yeah. But the whole point is to hit it to fatigue on each set, or at least near fatigue. Of course, it doesn't have to always be to complete failure, but the prerequisite, again, to building muscle is close to, if not to failure. Yeah. The perfect reason why bodybuilding works better in machine weights, just for purely bodybuilding's sake, is that you can isolate the muscles more, which means that you don't have to worry about form so much. Yeah. But we would say contract that form as much as you can. When you're going on compounds, like we were on the bench press, of course, you need to get better form and hold that form. So if you're looking at purely building muscle, probably dumbbells and machines might do better for you. but it also depends on the person. You might look at yourself actually getting better results from doing the bench press with the bar. It's individual based, so don't think that you can't mix and match it up a little bit. But I would say on a general basis, dumbbells and machines work better because you can isolate them a little bit more. So going into high intensity training. High intensity training it is high intensity, but you've got to consider the fact that a lot of it is cardiovascular based, and the weights that you're using is such a low weight to high volume that you're not stimulating the muscle as much as you would like to think you are. Sweating is not a good indicator of a good session, nor is feeling fatigue on a particular, like your whole muscles. It doesn't necessarily mean to say the muscles growing, it just means that they're actually fatigued, probably because your cardiovascular muscles are burnt out. So you've got to look at cardiovascular muscles as separate to your resistance training muscles. They are a separate entity. So if you're trying to gain muscle, doing high intensity training is great for cardiovascular work. It can be a good bonus to the end of your workout. Like I said, the last 15 to 20 minutes could be a great high intensity just to finish off those muscles, just to get that little extra burn. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're trying to purely grow muscle, the worst thing that people do is they just do high intensity 24/7 and they just get fatigued, they get tired, they get back pain, they get all kinds of problems because they're just trying to push. And then of course what happens is form compensates. And even at low weights, form can be really, like, when it compensates to such a point, it can really, really hurt. And then when you do go to resistance training, when you do weights, you've already got a problem there.
Yes.
And now you can't do proper resistance training because you've got constant back pain or whatever.
Well, a good example I have is clients that I've taken on that have always just done insanity or circuit training, things like that, which again are perfectly good ways of burning calories, good ways of training. However, when they then move over to the weight training section with me, when we go over things like deadlifts or even just simple bodyweight squats, the form that some of them have is it's questionable because
it's questionable
because it's not a bad thing. It's because they've not been taught basically, and because they're looking at high volume and the insanity classes or the circuit classes like quick move. They're not looking at form. They're just banging out as many squats as they can in a minute, banging out as many deadlifts as they can in a minute, and it just doesn't. The form falters, and then when they come to do it in a weight training environment, when doing 3 to 6 or 6 to 8 rep range on deadlifts or heavy squats, the form's not there. The muscles haven't been formed correctly, so it's just having a lot of issues in that aspect. So it can impact form massively. It
also, a lot of these people, when they move over from insanity or high intensity training, they find that doing weight training, they're like, oh, I'm not feeling it's doing much. Which, just because it's not hurting your muscle to the point of like complete, like utter like burn, it doesn't mean that it's not stimulating the muscle.
Then you get a text the next day, oh my god, I can't move my arms.
And it's surprising that it sometimes takes a while for that the hydrogen ions to build up and actually create like, you know, that horrible soreness you get the following day.
T-Rex syndrome.
That syndrome.
Final point of the day is to make sure you're getting those compound lifts in. Your bench press, your squats, your deadlifts, your overhead press. They are the foundation for building a good full-rounded workout and a good strong body. So focus on building up your strength and your form in these exercises. A good analogy to use is when building a house, you can't build a house without that foundation first. So your foundation is your squats, your deadlifts, bench press, overhead press, and then once your foundation is solid, you then start building that house with the isolation movements. So the stuff we're going to today, like the seated row, the lateral side raises, those sort of things. They're like the walls, the fixtures and fittings, all that. That's the bit. Basic analogy is about a house. Key thing is your foundation at the bottom is your compound movements.
I really hope you enjoyed that video, guys. If there is anything that you want to add, comment below. Is there any questions you've got about these training, muscle building, diet from the previous video? Please, yet again, pop your comments in. All comments are really welcome. There is no such thing as a stupid question. There are only stupid answers. So
most of the answers come from me. The stupid ones.
We really do appreciate your support, and we thank you again for building that subscribership up. We'd really appreciate it if you could get that video out there again to everyone. If you could share that video, would really be very grateful, and we may even give another giveaway out soon in future for you guys who are the what should we call these guys? Our avid watchers. They are
the growers.
The growers
In strength.
Yes. If you are a grower and not a shower, then we will maybe. So obviously, the more you comment, the more things you put across to us, of course, you will more likely get prizes. So anyway, we'll finish there on that video, and we'll catch you next week. Next week's video may be a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
No,
I just do what I'm told.
No, we've got plans for next week. We just need to speak to a few people because we've got some special things coming up in the future, but we don't want to spoil it, so we'll leave that there, guys.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.